All right, everybody, how's it going? It is Tuesday, January 18th, 2022, and of course, we just finished with the wild card weekend here in the NFL playoffs, which we did pretty good, going 5-1. The only game we got wrong was the Patriots and the Bills, and yeah, that was a really bad pick, but I think I even said during the video that, like, I know I'm going to get this pick wrong, so it feels like I actually went 6-0 because I just kind of picked with my team instead of who I figured was going to win. But 5-1 overall, pretty good weekend for the wild card. That was like my best ever wild card weekend. So let's hope some of that luck rubs off in here to the divisional round, and let's hope we kind of pick the same, get kind of similar results here. And yeah, I don't know. There's not really much to introduce this. Then it's the divisional round. There's 4 teams. No, wait. There's 8 teams left, so 4 games per conference. So we'll look at those teams here. Let's just jump into the divisional round for the NFC and then the AFC. Of course, in the AFC, it looks like all the top teams just won. It wasn't, and most of those games really, other than the Bengals and Raiders, which was a pretty good finish. Those 3 games weren't even close. Titans obviously didn't play, but the Chiefs won very handily, Bills won very handily, Tampa won very handily, and Los Angeles won very handily. And then the 49ers were able to get the upset on Dallas when Dallas ran kind of one of the more silly plays I've ever seen a team run with 14 seconds left. Let's run a QB sneak right up the middle. They'll never expect it. Maybe if you had a timeout, that would have been a sneaky good little play, but couple shots at the end zone. That was probably 3 throws at the end zone with 14 seconds left. Let's be pretty honest about that. But anyway, so this is who's left. Obviously, that means the Titans will play the Bengals, the Chiefs will play the Bills, the Packers will play the 49ers, and the Bucs will play the Rams. You can see, lowest seed plays highest seed, and so on and so forth. So here we go. Let's jump right into the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. We go to Saturday football, and we've got right away a pretty good game. 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be the Bengals taking on the Titans in Tennessee. Titans are favored by 3.5 with an over-under of 47. We're pretty sure we know what the Titans are going to look like. We're pretty sure that Derrick Henry's supposed to be playing in this game. They're supposed to have most of their guys back. They're a week rested, so a lot of those small naggy injuries have probably worn away for the Titans. So that's a good sign for the team, and they're at home, so it's going to be a nice environment for them. And then we look to Cincinnati, who looked pretty good in their playoff win. I was impressed with how they played. They looked like a sharp team. They didn't look like the stage was at all too big for them, which was very important to see from a young team in a new playoff situation. But I have to wonder, I think I read somewhere that 2 or 3 of the Bengals starting defensive linemen may miss this game. And if that's the case, with the way that the Titans play kind of aggressive, like bully ball style football, where they run the ball or they run it a lot, that could really hurt them if Derrick Henry, or even if Derrick Henry doesn't wind up playing in this game. I don't know if the Bengals missing those players, that'll probably clear up more as the week goes along. We'll have the defense to be able to stop the run game, especially if we have Julio Jones and A.J. Brown both back at a somewhat healthy level. No one's really super healthy right now, but like if those 2 are there and able to contribute in any way, that really helps the running game open up. And if they have Derrick Henry, that opens up the pass game in return. So it's just, this Titans offense could become one of those things that's really hard to stop if they've got everybody back and playing at a pretty healthy level. Even if Derrick Henry's at 80%, he's still got the strength of 30 men, and it's like, well, yeah, no, okay, he's not 100%. What is he, from 100 men to 30? Wow, good luck stopping them. And with the Bengals, I'm also wondering, like, this is a more experienced Titans team with a very experienced, smart head coach. I wonder how they're going to prepare for this game. I know that the Titans are going to be ready for everything the Bengals do very, very well. It's going to be a pretty good game, but I see the Titans pulling it out based on experience. I trust the Titans offense a little bit more with everybody healthy. I also wonder what's going on with the Bengals defensive front right now, with a couple guys potentially missing the game. And with those kind of question marks, you're like, all right, this could be the game where the Bengals' little run ends. But a very good run. Nice to the Bengals to get their first playoff win. There'll be a problem to be reckoned with for years to come inside of the AFC. Like, we can't deny that. They're a good little team. It's just, I think they're just running into a team I don't think many teams in the AFC are prepared to deal with, a fully healthy Titans offense. Nobody was really beating them when they had everybody. So I don't know. Good luck beating them. Can an upset happen? I think this is the most likely game, and the Rams game, where there could be a team that you would consider an upset for the other team to win. But I don't really see it. Just personally, you know what I mean? The Bengals are good, but Are they going to be able to deal with a Mike Vrabel coach team in the playoffs? That's really my big question. Can they handle that? Are they ready for that level of expertise? My guess is no. If this was next year with this experience, yeah, maybe they could, but they might get outcoached here pretty bad. All right, here's the game I was really hoping to pick an upset in, but the more I looked at it, the more I was like, God damn it. I think this is going to be the year he finally beats them. At 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard, the 49ers take on the Green Bay Packers. Packers are 5.5-point favorites with an over-under of 47.5. Yeah, I know Rodgers is 0-3 against them, and all the weird signs are kind of pointing to, wait, this could be a possible upset. Packers seem to have somewhat struggles with the run. 49ers can run the ball against just about anybody they feel like. I am wondering if Nick Bosa is going to be cleared to play in this game, because if he doesn't play, I really don't know how good of a chance they have. Because with Bosa, it gives them a pretty good odds of like staying in the game, potentially disrupting a lot of drives, getting Rodgers to play up very uncomfortably. So those things are what I'm considering for keeping the score very close. But ultimately, what it comes down to is, I don't know if I like what I see from the 49ers secondary. And that's been one of my major concerns. Like, I know they did very good against Dak and company, but I wonder if the Cowboys offense had a bit of a choking thing going on. And I wonder if losing Michael Gallup is kind of like a pinpull for their offense where it just doesn't look as good. So I have questions about that. I'm not trying to say it's a bad secondary, but it's the one part of their defense I have questions about. The defensive front is very, very, very good. They could probably neutralize Aaron Jones and Dillon, but then that still leaves the problem of you got to deal with Aaron Rodgers, who's playing at a very, very high level this season. He'll be able to probably shred the 49ers defense. I think he did earlier this season too. I know they played earlier, and I know the Packers beat them. In fact, I actually probably should look that up because I have plenty of time. I'm going at a pretty decent rate. What was the Packers-Niners regular season score? Packers versus 49ers 2021. Let's see here. Yeah, the Packers won 30-28. Earlier in the season, Rodgers went 23 of 33 for 261 and 2 touchdowns. They ran the ball fairly well, but again, that was kind of a different 49ers team. Garoppolo looked pretty good. Ooh, no, he didn't. 25 of 40. All right, that's going to be my deciding factor, I think. I'm going to go with the well, I think the Packers defense has gotten better since that point. I think so has the 49ers. I think the Packers offense has gotten a little bit more cohesive and a little bit sharper since that point in the season. So has the 49ers. Do I expect a repeat of that game? Pretty much. Yeah, it may even be a 31-28 type game based on, the struggles of Pat Rodgers against his team in the playoffs. But I do think he overconquers this. I do think this is somewhat of a mismatch based on I really don't think the 49ers secondary is ready to deal with like an Aaron Rodgers type situation. But hey, this is a team, the 49ers, and a quarterback the 49ers seem to get a lot of upsets on. I'm expecting people to probably have some upsets here, but also a lot of people have the Packers winning the NFC, so I'm assuming they knew this matchup was possible. Maybe. But yeah, I like the Packers here. If the 49ers were in a little bit better shape, this would be an upset pick, but I have very big, there's too many questions with the Niners and what they look like on defense at times. So, all right. And I think the Packers are a little bit better at dealing with the run than the Cowboys are. They can't deal with it. All right, let's go to Sunday. 2 more games to go over. Here's going to be a really good game. That should be the highest scoring one of the weekend, in my opinion. 3 o'clock, it'll be the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs are favored by 3 with an over-under of 48.5. By the way, just as always, the lines are just included for for you guys here. Like if you like them, people always ask if I don't put them in there to include lines and who's favored. The lines don't really consider into who I pick and who's going to be my pick for that week. I just like to have them there. So I don't know who's favored before I make any kind of picks. So just if you do use me to gamble, make sure you use other sources. I myself don't gamble, so if I had more money, maybe, but I'm broke as shit all the time. All right, let's get on to Sunday football. By the way, also make sure you leave your picks down below. I comment back on almost every single pick. Sometimes I'm a little slower during the end of the season here. I'm a little bit more distracted and everything with the school year starting back up, but I'll be back on your comments as soon as I can get there. All right, back to the Rams and the Bucs. I liked what I seen out of both of these teams. I don't really think we got a fair assessment because both of the teams they played against choked very badly. But in fact, the Eagles looked slightly better than the Cardinals did. So it's really hard to determine how either of these two teams really look because both of the teams played very, very good. I would say the Rams probably played a little bit better than the Buccaneers did considering the level of opponent. But also you have to consider the fact that the Rams have this like lifelong domination over the Arizona Cardinals, especially with Sean McVay. So like it's kind of one of those, yeah, the Rams won, but it's also a team they always almost beat, and it's pretty ugly when they beat them like that. Whereas the Buccaneers playing against an Eagles team that they don't really play too often, they played once this regular season, and they beat pretty soundly. It appears the Bucs have this weird playoff strategy where they get up by like into the 30s and then stop scoring, and then usually they're up by like 31-10, so they can kind of coast to victories. We've seen them do this against the Eagles. I think it was like 31-3 when the Bucs just didn't do anything else. We've seen this last year against every team except I think Washington, where the Bucs would get up to like 35 points and then just disappear from scoring. But that would be the end of the game, basically. They could just ride to victory. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that against these Los Angeles Rams. This is probably one of those games where a lot of people are going to pick the Rams because of the way they just played. But I think one of the things you have to consider is like the Rams know how to beat the Cardinals very, very well. They're like designed to do it. And I know these two teams played earlier in the year, and I believe the Rams took that game. Let me double check because I'm checking games as it is. I just want to be 100%. Rams versus Bucs 2021. Yep, it was the Rams who won that game. It was the Bucs' first loss of the regular season, actually. Brady played pretty good, going 41-55 for 432 yards. Stafford threw for 4 TDs. So basically what that looks like is the Bucs defense, which was not as sharp in earlier in the season, kind of got beat up on. And it doesn't really sound like the Rams defense did very much to stop the Bucs either. They just seem to not give up as many touchdowns for whatever reason, but they do give up a lot of yards. Something to consider. That's part of the reason why I'm going to go with the Bucs over the Rams. I think I think the Bucs can take away more from that game than the Rams took away from that game. And I think that in the rematch, Brady should be favored because the Bucs didn't even play bad. They just, for some reason, the Rams just played like crackheads that game, if I remember correctly. They were scoring very consistently. The Bucs defense wasn't as sharp. I think they were missing a couple players. But I think the Bucs are a little bit healthier than that point. So, I don't know. I like the Bucs to win this game. I'm just feeling the Bucs. This is going to be one of those ones where everyone's like, yeah, but what are they going to do? You know, I don't know. They'll probably block with 6 offensive linemen to deal with the Rams pass rush, and hopefully if they can deal with that, then they should be able to win this game. If they can't deal with that Rams pass rush that was all over Kyler Murray last night, oh, I don't know. This might be a bad pick. I might be 3-1 this week, and there might be no more Brady. But we'll see. Hopefully the Bucs can pull this off. And then here's a pick that's going to piss off a majority of people no matter what way you do it. Because if you pick one way, you pick the other, you know. And I know, all right, let's go 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. It'll be the Buffalo Bills taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are 2.5-point favorites with an over-under of 54.5. Now, this didn't come easy because this is a game that I don't care for either one of these two teams. I hope they both lose, but that's not something that's possible. So I had to choose a winner in this game, and I basically had to break it down. It's a similar thing to the Rams and the Bucs, the Bills and the Chiefs, where it's like, damn, this is like such a weird matchup where it feels like these two teams are very even in terms of like even like the way they approach the game. The Bills are very much like a Chiefs-styled offense, big plays downfield. They can also use some short stuff to make it to kind of jet down. They're an athletic quarterback with a big arm, pretty decent defense that can do a very good job when it's called upon to do so. Like it's very eerie how similar these two teams are. So it's really hard when they go up against each other to figure who's going to win. Now, the Bills won in the regular season quite dramatically earlier on. But you also have to consider, though, like the Chiefs started this season like dog shit. I don't know what happened, but since then, that's a different Chiefs team that the Bills running. The Bills are running into the same Chiefs team that basically they played in the conference championship. It may even be a little bit better of a Chiefs team because their defense isn't as bad as it has been in years past. part of the big reason they were able to get to 12 wins this season, despite their offense sputtering along at times. Now, that does worry me at times. Even when the Chiefs have been playing good, their offense has looked a little out of sync, a little inconsistent. But we have seen that kind of correct itself. It's kind of looked a lot better here in the last few weeks, especially in the playoffs. They've kind of clicked back into like oh, here's the Chiefs. All right. I think they won their game. Like they did dirty things to the Steelers. I think even Travis Kelce threw a touchdown, if my memory serves right, in that game. So their offense is all the way back and clicking. So the Bills have that to worry about a little bit. The Bills looked very good against the New England Patriots, but that was kind of a mismatch. The Bills were, obviously that was a bit of a mismatch. So I'm wondering if this is a hard game to pick, because you could really go either way and not be like it's not a bad take to take either team. I like the Chiefs because for the following reasons. The home team, that's going to be a big advantage. Arrowhead is a very hard place to go play football games in. We've seen this matchup before, and we've seen the Bills fall short in this game before, so that's another thing. I do think this environment, this situation, win or go home, that could be a bit pressurish. So I would like to see the Bills rise to this occasion and actually do it before I can pick them. I wonder how the Chiefs are going to respond to the Bills respond to the Chiefs passing game. The Patriots have not the greatest passing game, so that's whatever. But it's hard to use Patriots-Bills games as a way to accurately assess how the Bills or the Patriots look, because those two teams are there's just brutal rivalry between them at this point. And if a team could crush them, they'll crush the other. It's a weird thing. So it's weird to see can the Chiefs handle or the Bills handle a very good passing attack with only one. I know Hyde and Porter are very, very good secondary guys, but is that enough to deal with Kelce? Is that enough to deal with Hill as long as he's healthy? Pringle, Hardman if he's ready, if he's doing things good. So there's quite a few things I wonder if the Bills have the manpower to deal with. Same to the Chiefs, I wonder. But ultimately, I just feel like the home field advantage, experience of the Chiefs. I know the Bills have experience too, but I feel like I want to see them win in one of these big games against a big team opponent in the playoffs. That's a big thing. This is a big game. Arguably, this is more important than the champion. Not really. But yeah, I don't know. I'm probably wrong. I don't. I wish I had better analysis. These two teams are just very even. It's wow. Which offense do I prefer? Sure, either one's good. Which defense? Either one works. Which coaching staff? I like the Chiefs a little bit more, and I like the fact that the Chiefs are at home. Those are my main reasons. I think the Chiefs have slightly better coaching and way more experience on that, and I also just think the Chiefs are designed for these big game moments. I'd like to see the Bills show me that they are as well. All right, those are my picks for the week. Those are my overall numbers. We're still quite under 100. Maybe I won't get a single game wrong again this year and avoid 100 overall, but we'll see. I kind of doubt that. But all right, those are my wild card or my divisional round picks for the week. I hope you enjoyed them. Hopefully, you just leave your picks down below or whatever you think of the picks. Hopefully, they're not too far off of what you think. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And yeah, we're getting closer and closer to there only being 3 games. There's literally after this, there's the NFC and AFC championships, and then the Super Bowl. So there's only 3 games left for the rest of the videos in these. Kind of a sad thing, but we'll make it work. And then we transition to the USFL. Ooh, fun. But all right, thank you guys so much for a fun season. Thank you for liking, subscribing, all the new people who've joined the channel. Very, very cool. We're up at 7,100 subscribers. Let's see if we can keep growing. We're on the way to 8K. It's kind of catchy, right? All right, but anyway, thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day, night, whenever you listen to this. Morning, all that fun stuff. And yeah, all right, I'll see you next time. Peace out. Go Lions, go Tigers, and of course go Patriots. All those teams are no longer in the playoffs. Boo. All right, peace out.